I don't want to get you too excited, but I will say 4 words: dry aged tomahawk steak. So, forgot my knife. Hey guys, welcome back to Cook You Bastards, and I'm not going soft, but I think this is a first. I'm gonna make something sweet, because I saw Mark over at Sauce Stash. I'm sure you watch Sauce Stash, because Mark's awesome, and he makes great stuff, and of course I'm putting a thing up there to link to him, but Mark at Sauce Stash made edible cookie dough. And if you don't know about this, there's actual restaurants, or shops, including in New York, where they sell edible cookie dough that's not made to be baked. You just eat it, you put it on your ice cream cone, whatever. It's pretty damn good. And the trick is that regular cookie dough has raw eggs and raw flour, which can both get you sick. The eggs can have salmonella, and flour, which you may not know, has been linked to a couple of E. coli outbreaks. You don't want E. coli, it's not so good. So with the edible cookie dough, you're adjusting the recipe and treating things so that they don't make you puke or crap your pants like you would otherwise. Anyway, so back to Mark at Sauce Stash. He made edible chocolate chip cookie dough, and I said to myself, it just so happens that we have a tub of this stuff in the fridge already. Wouldn't it be great to make it myself? More importantly, wouldn't my wife like it if I made some? And that was some powerful motivation. So I whipped up a batch and it was great. I loved it, but she can't eat chocolate, so I had to leave the chocolate chips out, and I thought I would try a couple of tweaks to the recipe. I cleared it with Mark. He's a nice guy, so he's cool with it. I'm not quite sure this is gonna work, honestly. So one of the tweaks I wanna do is brown butter. If you don't know what brown butter is, I think you're basically toasting the milk solids. It's the nectar of the gods. It tastes amazing. You normally don't make cookies with it because they come out greasy, they don't bake well. And the first step in this recipe, as with a lot of cookie recipes, is you're creaming the butter and the sugar together. So I'm gonna try brown butter. It's not gonna cream really well, but we'll see what happens in the finished product, because I think it would add a really nice sort of nutty element, especially since I'm not using chocolate chips. So I'm gonna mix that up. And normally if you've never made cookies before, you don't even necessarily have to make the cookies. Just cream some butter and sugar together and eat it, because it's good. Now, I'm not a huge sweets guy, but I could eat that stuff all day. All right. I'm hoping the melted butter won't be too much of a detriment, because I'm not baking these. That looks pretty good. So that's, what is it? Like half a cup of brown sugar. Oh man, that tastes really good. And a couple of tablespoons of brown butter. See you guys. No, that's really good. All right, so next, I don't remember what order I do this in, Mark. I'm gonna throw in, we got some vanilla. He used 1/4 teaspoon, I'm using 1/2 teaspoon. Again, I'm doing the chocolate chip, so I wanna amp up the flavor on this a little bit. And a little pinch of salt. Now, the next step is the flour. So flour, you want to treat it to at least 160 degrees. That's pasteurization. That kills the E. coli. I see a lot of recipes out there where they're blasting it at 350. I didn't really want to do that because you might toast the flour, which tastes good, but it's not going to taste like raw cookie dough. So what I did was I heated the oven to 170, spread the flour out thinly, baked it for a while, 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that, and made sure the whole thing was 160 throughout. So theoretically, that should be E. coli free. I'm just gonna mix my sugar butter mixture in with, I think it's 3/4 cup of flour. And we'll see how this turns out. A little bit extra vanilla. Oh! I'm making a hell of a mess. Hang on. Even more so. All right, here we go. This is looking good. All right, you know what? The spoon's all well and good. I'm just gonna use my fingers. It's like making biscuits. The other thing I'm gonna do, it's a little bit different from Mark's. This is getting dry, so I'm gonna throw in, there's like 2 tablespoons of whole milk here. I'm gonna throw in there, it's looking pretty good. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of granulated sugar, because one thing I've noticed about these cookie dough recipes is if you're eating real raw cookie dough, there's a little bit of that sugary crunch. And with the brown sugar, I didn't get that so much. So I'm adding a little bit of granulated sugar just for texture. And this is looking a little drier than I expected, probably because I was tasting the brown butter so much. I can always throw some extra milk in there. All right, I just want to try it. It smells great. Yep, that's really good. It is getting kind of a cookie dough texture. It's a little bit greasier than with the regular butter. I might even throw a little bit of that in. Just to cream it up. That might help the texture a lot, actually. All right, so I have a nice blob of perfectly passable cookie dough. It's got that nice crunch and a real like nutty brown butter flavor. This is great. So if you can't eat chocolate, you don't want to make chocolate chip ones, throw a little brown butter in there. Man, that's tasty. I don't think my wife's getting any of this. Anyway, guys, subscribe, hit the button. I'll do the little animation thing, and enjoy. Cheers.